Have you ever wondered what happens when the untouchable gets touched? Satoru Gojo spent his entire life being that figure nobody dared to look straight in the eye. The guy who walked into a room and made the air feel different. Not out of cheap arrogance, but because everyone, friend or foe, knew they were standing next to someone who operated on a completely different level. The infinity protected his body, the technique protected his mind, and the reputation protected the symbol. But symbols can be broken. The prison realm. Think about it with me. How do you trap someone who can't be touched? The answer that Kenjaku and the Gojo clan found wasn't through brute force. It was through patience, years of planning, layers of manipulation, and one surgical, precise moment where the greatest sorcerer in the world was surrounded on all sides without fully grasping the depth of the trap. The Shibuya Incident was exactly that, a macabre performance of absurd proportions. While Gojo was diverting attention, while he fought through hordes of transfigured curses with that casual ease only he carries, the real blow was being prepared in the shadows, literally. And here's the detail that cuts deep. He knew it was dangerous. He walked in anyway, because Gojo isn't stupid. He calculated the risks. He understood he might be walking into an ambush, but there's a massive difference between knowing danger exists and being able to measure just how deep it goes. And Kenjaku knew Gojo better than Gojo knew Kenjaku. When the coffin of the imaginary was sealed shut around him, the world of Jujutsu Kaisen changed its address. That's not an exaggeration. Think about what Gojo represented structurally. He was the reason sorcerers could sleep at night. He was the backup plan for every impossible situation. He was the name that even the most powerful enemies avoided saying out loud, out of superstition. With him sealed, the balance holding the world together didn't shake, it collapsed. And what happens to the people who depended on that balance? His students, Yuji, Megumi, Nobata, suddenly found themselves in a world with no safety net. That teacher who showed up with a crooked smile and solved the unsolvable vanished from the equation. What was left was too much responsibility in the hands of people who were still learning how to carry the weight. That's what this story does best in moments like these. It doesn't let you grieve in peace. It lands the blow and immediately pushes you forward because the story doesn't stop. The mourning has to walk alongside the action. And there's an even crueler layer to all of this. Gojo didn't die. He's somewhere between existing and not existing, conscious or not, trapped in a ceiling dimension while the world he protected burns on the outside. He can't see, he can't act, he can't save anyone. For someone whose entire identity was built around being the strongest, being the solution, being the protector, this isn't just physical imprisonment, it's existential torture. The day the strongest fell wasn't the day he lost a battle. It was the day the world realized it had leaned too hard on a single person, and that this person was human enough to be removed from the board. And now the question that won't leave the mind of anyone who has followed this story. If even the untouchable can be sealed, who, in the end, is strong enough to open that prison, and at what cost?